the Neandertalk podcast. We'll no topic is off limits. Now here's your host, my daddy, and Void of Soul. Thank you for coming to the Neandertalk podcast. Boom, shwak, boom.
In 3, 2, 1. Boom, shwak, boom, everybody. Welcome back. Welcome for the first time. Alan Wayne is in the building, everybody. One of my favorite human beings on planet Earth. Welcome back, baby.
Thanks for having me again, man. Namaste and shit.
Namaste and shit.
Hell yeah, dog.
Oh, my God.
Uh-oh.
It's been a long morning.
Yeah.
All right, let's go.
Podcast foul.
Ooh. Well, welcome back.
Thanks, man.
It's been a minute.
I know, right?
This is the last time. Were you in the studio last time, or was it?
No, I was here, but I honestly don't remember when the last time was, bro.
Me neither.
That's fucked up.
Uh-huh.
But, it wasn't the Irv thing, was it?
Oh.
I don't think so.
Were you here with Irv?
Whenever the last time we were here, we did an extra piece afterwards. I know that for sure.
Oh, I remember that.
But I don't remember. But I want to say, I don't think that was with Irv, though, bro. But it could have been.
I don't know. Welcome back anyways.
Yeah, man. Thanks.
It's good to see you.
I gotta be in your like top 5 of reoccurring guests.
Oh yeah, easily.
Like, yeah. I'm trying to think, man. If I'm not number 1, who would be number 1?
Maybe Lucid?
Yeah, I was gonna say Lucid's on here. Him and his extended family.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so I kind of count that all as one. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, by de facto, they got me probably. But I'm neck and neck with that, man.
Yeah, well, this might put you over the top. Who
Man,
knows? We'll see.
You're gonna have to start having me on like Boozy on Vlad, dog.
I don't know what that is. What you talking about?
Oh, then never mind. He doesn't. No free pub on here. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, you can pub whatever.
No,
It's all
Vlad
good.
don't pay us, man.
All right. I just been waiting. Waiting for you to do something.
Yeah, man. I've been working, dog. I've been in that lab, head down.
Listen to me. You promised me with invitations to the lab. I still haven't gotten one.
Nah, man.
I want to come in. I'm like gonna bully my way into one of these sessions.
I'll tell you like this. As far as this, whatever this is, I've been kind of shadow pubbing it as the demonstration 3. Might end up being that, but I'm like nearing the end of it. End of it. I don't have much more tracking to do. However, these mixing sessions are the best sessions, though. You know, because you get to hear all the nuances and things, which with my music, that's some of the coolest part. You know what I mean? And then you get to see, you know, Rebek at his best. You know, do that wizardry that he does and really bring the music to another place. Like, I can't wait to hear what this shit sounds like when we put that oil sheen on it, man. I'm really excited about whatever the fuck's going on.
Yeah.
But yeah, man.
That sounds like you dodged my question. When am I going to get to hang out?
And I feel like I have invited you out this time around, man.
I don't think so.
I'm gonna have to dig through
dig through.
because
Tell me I'm wrong.
That's what I started to say, but then I went into the there's still time thing. But yeah, allow me to retort because I do believe that invite. I think it was, you know, earlier in this recording process. I've been recording on this longer than I realized when I picked my head up and looked. You know, so
what's taking so long on this album? Because when was the demonstration 2? 2 years ago? 2.5 years ago?
No, it was longer than that, but 10,000 hours was, yeah, that was
that was a double album, so
yeah, man, that was a lot. I'm still I'm still leaking little things as if it's brand new, so the more I do, the more that gets rediscovered too. So
yeah, I like that new one you got with Ben Scotti and C-Dub.
Oh yeah, see, that's not even new. That's off of the demonstration too. You know, it just never have been released to any of the main platforms.
Nice.
Still is a AlanWaynesWorld.com exclusive, but now you can get it on YouTube as well. You know,
Love it.
Yeah, man.
All right, so right before we started, you were kind of saying that you don't really listen to much music out there. Is that locally or in general?
No, if I listen to anything, well, if I catch the music is more local than anything. Local and when I'm on the road gigging with other, regional acts.
Independent dudes.
Yeah, man. But I haven't listened to music from a fan standpoint or just a riding around or
Really?
cleaning house. Not in a long, long time, and that's been by design. Like
Okay.
I avoid it. I'm not anal about it to the point that if you were playing something, I'm like turn that shit off. I don't want to hear it. But on my own time, if I'm playing music at all, it's something that you wouldn't be able to guess. So
Why is that?
well because
I listen to podcasts all the
See?
time. That's all I listen to.
see even on my own music, like sometimes I'll say something, and I'm not so much worried about have I said it already. But it sounds so dope that like somebody had to have already said that. I had to accidentally have heard that somewhere,
Mhm.
So I Google that shit and I'm always wrong and relieved that I can use it. But
I mean, it's hip hop. You can use it anyway.
yeah, I understand. But your subconscious brain is a very sticky thing, and it can grab on to shit that you don't even realize it's grabbing onto.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm just trying to be as uninfluenced as possible and just let whatever this is be completely as uninfluenced as possible. And if I happen to say something that somebody else happened to say, we just happen to say the same shit, and I can live with that because I know I didn't accidentally
Parallel
borrow that.
thinking.
Yeah.
Sure.
So
What are the negatives? Like, what's the consequences of doing that? If there are any. Have you thought about that?
well, I'm big. This is not the healthiest truth, but I'm big on escapism. I like to get up out this motherfucker. And a lot of times you can get lost in it, especially the way that I dissect the music I listen to. You know what I mean? So listening to music in my own genre is different for me. It's probably like that for a lot of artists. You know what I mean? Like I'm sure directors look at movies differently than we watch them. So I listen to music a little differently. So I can get lost in that shit, and I don't have that outlet, so I get lost in way weirder shit. So other than my own leisure, I don't miss much because my musical, taste has always been pretty wide. So it's just
But I mean, like
I'm fasting.
is there a consequence of not knowing who some local artists are that maybe you could collaborate with, or independent artists that you could, like, ooh, I like what he's doing. Let me work with him.
Because that's the thing. Like I'm active on social because I gotta be. So a lot of the, people promote just like I do.
Mm-hmm.
So I know what's going on. I know who's dropping what most of the time.
Okay.
So I still, like I said, like if I'm hearing anything, it's the locals because I'm definitely not checking for the majors, like at all.
Yeah.
And like I said, but the good thing about that is, and I'm not a hater. So my partner Trey, who I ride with a lot these days, he might as well be a DJ. So anytime I'm with him, if he's playing something, to date, it's always brand new. It's always refreshing. So, it's like I'm gonna hear it, and it's always brand new when I do. So
Okay.
there's bonuses to it.
Okay.
Too. But it's a discipline though. Like it's a conscious effort to not. It's easy now, but I used to have to remind myself I don't want to hear that shit. But now it's effortless now.
What do you listen to in your free time then?
Not much music.
Well, yeah, like if anything, books on tape,
a lot of
podcasts, classical music,
a lot of philosophy from dead men.
Oh,
They just happen to be dead. I don't intentionally look up the dead, but
I know.
most
Alan
of the
Watts.
yeah, those guys. I'm big on. Muji's alive. What I'm saying? I fuck with Muji. Shout out to Muji. There's a few people who are living who I fuck with, but I'm big on McKenna.
Terrence.
Yeah, and Ram Dass, rest his soul, and a lot of other guys who I can get to naming a lot of shit to try to sound deep or something like that. But it's a lot of things that just keep my esoteric side intrigued. Again, that's another escapism for me.
You like to read or listen to audio? audio stuff on them, like speeches and.
Yeah, I one love to YouTube. Like I would, and I used to hate on audio books and shit like that.
I love them.
Yeah, no, I've completely turned the corner on that. I still, appreciate a good book, and I want to go collect a lot of the books that I've now listened to on audio, But yeah, so a lot of long-ended content. Period. I'm not a micro. I get lost trying to find something to watch that I can stay in for a while, So a lot of long-ended podcasts about, what's really going on in reality and shit, like very unrelated to music. And then
yeah, you got a lot of
excuse me,
interesting thoughts on, I guess, what reality is based on some of your music, and I mean just all the Alan Watts stuff, and I don't know what do you think's going on?
I don't know, man.
Like, what's the whole namaste and shit? Like,
Well,
are we really here?
I severely doubt it. Doesn't make much sense.
Yeah.
I mean, like the inner dialogue alone is kind of, we just
Our inner conscience.
Yeah, I mean, you can shut the fuck up and hear yourself just as clear as day, and it's hard to stop.
It doesn't stop.
Yeah.
Does it ever stop? I can't. I don't think. Yeah, it doesn't.
Yeah, and we're so nonchalant about the dream state. Like, that's not some what the fuck is going on shit. I might even said this in podcasts years ago now, but like, we lived in a world where no one ever dreamt. I always say past tense to that. And then somebody had a dream, and they try to explain that to somebody, they'd be locked up somewhere because it's a psycho shit to just go have a whole nother out of life experience that slips away as soon as you come back to this one. Oh yeah, it's just a part of that's
Holy shit,
that makes
that's
a lot of
wild.
sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we take that shit.
Well, we just
Great.
like we're sleeping. Of course, what else are we supposed to do?
I
Our
think-
brains are bored. We were just talking about how our brains don't shut up
This is
when
what
we're
I do
awake.
think. I have no idea what's going on, but like, how your nose is in your line of sight, but you block it out because it's so close to you, and that's
I don't know. I feel like I can always just see it a little bit. It
Well,
drives me nuts. I got a big nose.
with me too, but if I'm not thinking about it now, I can see it a little bit.
Yeah, see?
But like, your eyes can't see themselves
Right.
without a mirror. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, whatever's really going on is probably just right in our face, so no duh that we can't even notice it. You know what I mean? And we're probably like one thought, one question away. You know what I mean? I think the discovery of whatever's going on is going to come in the form of a question that the answer to that question kind of answers everything. I'm sure I got that as a combination of stuff that I heard from other people, but just something with that feels right. But the mystery's probably right in our face. You know what I mean? But there's a lot of coincidences. I can go into a bunch of shit that'll have me, have somebody knocking at my door.
How do you think we got here, people? How do you think consciousness got here? If this is, assuming this is a real planet with real people on it, and this isn't a trick or a simulation or a dream, like assuming reality is reality. How do you think it all got started? Like, how did consciousness get here? You think about that?
The whole thing is just everything is so mathematical, and everything lines up to something in science. They always compare the DNA strands to memory chips and shit like that. They
Binary
say
code.
all kind of it just seems so designed.
Mm-hmm.
They say the chances are one in like we shouldn't have happened. You know what I'm saying? But here we are. With gangs and shit, like all kind of random shit. You know what I mean? Like, it just seems like somebody's twisted entertainment or something like that.
Do you think that's it? Do you think
I
we're
don't
just
know,
like
man.
real housewives of Earth? we're like some program for like some space species light years away. They're watching us for their entertainment. That's why there's always wild shit going on. That's why World War III is like Earth 2.0 is like kind of getting boring, and so they've been throwing the past few years. They're like, we got to spice up. We're losing viewers. Yeah. So they had like, let's throw in a crazy epidemic in there. Let's throw in a pandemic. Let's see what happens. All right, let's throw this wacky ass celebrity as a president of one of the major powers and see what happens.
Didn't Kim Jong-un die, and then they said never mind?
It was speculated, and they had like a body double. Apparently, he has like 12 body doubles or some shit like that, just in case. And also, I don't know if you heard of this. They're saying Putin could be dead right now too.
Yeah, man. Nobody knows what's going on. They can just tell us anything they want to.
Yeah, they are telling us whatever they want to.
You know, so that's why I don't listen. Like, I really just try my best to just pray for everybody involved and just not pay attention at all.
Yeah,
to the best of my ability. It's hard to not, because I mean, unless you're gonna just be a complete hermit, which I'm not afforded the luxury of that. But I don't know. But just something about the whole overall thing seems unnatural, and I think the biggest sign of that is the fact that a lot of people are questioning like what's going on,
more and more recently,
more and more. And I think that if this is a field of consciousness which everybody has grasp to, like I always say, even just to use music as an analogy, I think some of my shit's the dopest just because I don't take much credit for it. I'm just open to whatever's in the atmosphere and shit like that. Same thing with ideas and everything else. If that's what's going on out there, whatever God you subscribe to, if there's something righteous going on, maybe there's some winks and some guns. You know what I mean? Like, 'cause something just doesn't feel right about existence. It just don't hit like it used to back in the day.
Yeah.
And I don't think some divine or alien intervention may be in order, and stranger things may not have happened yet. But
are we on the precipice of that? Are you paying attention to alien sightings and information being leaked? The David Grushes of the world.
Yeah, I just had to step out of that rabbit hole just a little bit because I was about to try to find out how I could volunteer down at Skinwalker Ranch and shit. Like, I was really getting deep into that shit too, just because I've seen some things that defy explanation, like some shit that I wouldn't believe if I didn't see it myself, perhaps. But I don't.
Big piece of salt's from Skinwalker Ranch.
Oh, see, who would have thunk it? See.
That was given to me one of these paranormal people. I have a person that I know, and I don't know what to say much about him as far as my trust level for him. However, he's going through some stuff right now. He just got diagnosed, I forgot some kind of cancer, not a good one, and he doesn't want to go have it looked at or worked on. He's just like, he just doesn't want to face it, I guess.
Yeah, out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah, but I mean, it's affected. I mean, he's like super skinny. He used to be pretty buff, like a little bit taller than me and quite a bit more muscular than me. Now he's like skinnier than me and just going through some shit. But he said ever since that's happened, he lives out in the country kind of. He's been seeing UFOs regularly. Like he said, it sounds wild. He says he can summon them. And he does. He's like, come on out. I was like, all right. And I told him I'd come out, but I just haven't gone out yet just because him and I just have a troubled past.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I don't know. It doesn't matter. But I've been thinking about it. And he sent me a few videos. He sent me a video of like a lightning storm. But it's not a lightning storm I've ever seen before. It looked like they were communicating. Like this cloud would go off, then this cloud would go off like a few ones. And then it just looked like all these different clouds were communicating. And then he showed in the distance, it looks like a flying saucer. I'll show you the videos.
Yeah, I got to see this.
I'll show you the videos.
Because, I don't doubt it for a second.
And we can go out there. Like, if you want to go out there, if I'll hit him up. It's been a while since I hit him up, a few weeks.
Yeah, man, I could be like your bodyguard and shit, too.
Oh, it's not. I'm not worried about that.
Roundhouse your ass,
It's not about
that.
But yeah.
No,
All right.
man, yeah, I'm man. You don't know how down for that I am. Though.
Okay. And I do need to go out there and do some other stuff too. All right.
Yeah, man. Keep me in mind for that for real.
All right.
Hell yeah, dude.
And he knows of you. He's heard some episodes, and he's liked our interviews with you. He
Right
thinks
on.
you're an interesting dude. So
Okay, cool. Yeah, man. Make it.
so yeah, you went down some rabbit holes with YouTube. That's your friend, huh?
Yeah, man. If it wasn't for me being me doing what I do for a living and shit, I could lose the rest of the socials easy. But if they made me pay for my YouTube, I would have. I would.
Do you pay for it?
No, I don't.
You don't?
Fuck no.
I just started.
Nah, dude.
$20 a month, no commercials.
I don't mind the commercials.
And you can. I said that too. But then I watch a lot of YouTube. That's almost all I watch. And then every single time you start a new video, you have to watch a commercial, at least for whatever 15 seconds or something. And yeah, just I don't like the commercials. I was like, let me just try it. It's a game changer. I was like, it's $20 a month.
Yeah. No,
I'm like, it's been worth it so far. I'm like, there's
know-
no commercials, and you can play it in your background. Like you can play it on your phone and turn the phone off, and it'll still play. So if
like,
you're
every 3 or 4 quarters or so, it seems like they'll throw you a free trial for like 14 days and let you live in that commercial-free paradise and just let your shit run. And then,
I never did that. I was just like, I'm just gonna do it. I know it's good. I don't need to be.
yeah, the only time that the commercials bother me is, like I said, it's rare because it's usually in my ears as I'm wandering aimlessly through the house or some shit. But whenever I find myself wanting to cast it on to something, that's when the commercials really stop giving a fuck about you. You know what I'm saying? And they're like not the commercials they used to be. Like they're commercials that are gonna play out like.
Get more up on that mic. Sorry.
My bad. They're commercials without that skipping option most of the time too.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, but no, I'm not paying for that shit.
It was a battle for me, but I was like, fuck it. Like I can't win. Like I held out as long as I could because I do have issues with YouTube, as far as like their censorship stuff goes, and
Yeah,
I do have issues with that and demonetization. But I was like, I'm already hooked. Like,
yeah.
I don't know. I fell for it.
I am a little frustrated in comparison to my rewinded a couple of years back. It seems like there's less to I don't find as much as I used to. Like I don't get I have to dig for shit now.
Yeah, I used to have a good up next video.
Yeah, man.
And that's where those rabbit holes would come from. You can't really go down. It's really hard to go down a YouTube rabbit hole like it was a few years ago, where you could just, they changed their algorithm to more like monitored. They don't want people believing in flat Earth.
Yeah.
And lizard people.
Yeah, they like fuck all that. So
Trump changed it. That's when it happened. It was when Trump started.
Trump did it?
I think it was because of Trump.
Oh. Damn.
I think the left-leaning kind of people that run YouTube and social media, I think they saw a lot of people going down like QAnon. You remember QAnon?
Yeah.
I think people were going down these QAnon rabbit hole type things, and YouTube was wanting to prevent that type of stuff because, it's dangerous thinking. You can have free speech unless it's speech we don't like, and we're going to make it very difficult for you to find.
Yeah, like
censor some of it.
Like try to find something on like the like Epstein Island or anything like that.
Right.
It's gone.
Yeah.
Like you can't. There's nothing there.
Yeah, and I think because I think they were afraid of people falling into like the right.
Yeah.
On conservative type stuff and voting for Trump, and I think that's when it started.
And I found that out not because I was trying to even go down that route. I was getting it confused with somebody else. I was getting my old rich perverts confused. So I was just trying to Google it to get a grasp on who was what, and man, couldn't find shit. I'm like, what? So
I haven't looked. I never that story never really interested me.
Yeah, I wasn't, like I said, it was one of those just
It's like, is that real? I mean, it's interesting to think about. Like, is there really a dude that's running an underage sex ring for the most powerful people in the world? I can't. That sounds so. I
So-
love conspiracies, but that to me just sounds so over the top that it's like,
It sounds like something out of a movie.
right.
You know,
it sounds
something-
written.
Like I said, we might be here for somebody's entertainment.
Exactly.
You know, like it's just
It can't be real.
yeah.
Can
man.
it?
I don't think it can be. You know, and I think they have even like test runs for shit. Because like, if
But then you look into it, and they won't release the list, the Epstein list. Like Giselle has it, or is that her name? What's her name? Is it Giselle?
who, Tom Brady's ex?
No,
See, I don't know nothing about
Epstein's wife. The lady that got arrested, that's in jail. Epstein's right hand woman.
Oh, okay, yeah.
What's her
okay.
name?
I don't know, but I know who you're talking about. I know her from.
But she has that list, the Epstein list of all the powerful people that went to, what do they call it, Fuck Island or something like that?
I don't know. That's what.
Is that what it's called?
Fuck
Epstein's
Island.
Fuck Island?
I just think it was called Epstein Island. I think. Fuck Island's better. That's funny. I mean, it's not better because it was kids and shit, but it was. That's funny to say. Yeah, I don't know, man. Like I said, but I wasn't even trying to find the list, or like I said, I wasn't even that, and I was like, oh. But then it makes you wonder, like, now I want to know, a little more than I did before and shit. But anyway.
But then you realize, even if it is true, I mean, because you do look at, like, Bill Clinton flew with Epstein like 26 times or some shit like that. Bill Gates met with him a bunch, and there's just some weird shit.
They're saving that shit for when they really need a deflection. Whenever there's something big in the news, there's really something bigger really going on.
They better drop it now because World War III is about to start. It was bigger than that.
Well, something that they're trying to, get us to look over here while this over there is going on. They can't hide this. I mean, they just gonna keep bombing motherfuckers all day, all night long. Like, it's just, what's the goal at this point? Like I said, I don't watch enough of that shit to, and I don't want to go there and say the wrong thing and piss off the wrong people because I have no clue. I just pray for everybody and those kids and shit that are just getting just annihilated. Like, I can't even turn on the morning news and shit.
I am balls deep into it.
Yeah,
because I've had to educate myself.
Yeah, you're kind of like a journalist. You know what I mean? Just by trade. You and how deep you want to go into that pocket. It probably just depends on the flavor of the month or whatever. But you kind of have to be in the know.
I like to be.
Yeah.
I know it's religious based and it goes back thousands of years, but I never really paid attention. I don't even know how many Jewish people I've met in my life. It's very, very few. And even if I've met them, I might not even know if they're Jewish. I've met quite a few Muslims.
Well, I think that's because where we're from. You know what I'm saying?
Right. We don't have a huge
Jewish community, so.
But even I was a military brat. I moved all around, but I never moved. I mean, I was born and raised in Michigan, so they have a good Muslim population there. So I met quite a few there, and here, and I've had nothing but amazing interactions with those.
Are they called Hasidic Jews? Whichever one.
Hasidic, yeah, with the curlies.
Yeah, man. I see those. I've been to New York a handful of times.
Oh, there are a lot around there.
And man, they be fresh, man.
Yeah,
I like the way even the kids, the young. I don't know those. There's an age, I guess, when they break them into that outfit or some shit.
Okay.
And you see the younger gentleman in there, like it's like, okay, I see that. Like I could, if I was Jewish, I'd pull that out. You know what I'm saying?
So, and then you always hear about the Israel-Palestine shit, but I never really got that involved in it. It's just I'm not interested in that part of the country. It's nowhere I would ever want to visit. So it's not like it never really piqued my interest. Well, all this shit's been popping off lately, like that Hamas attack where they went into the music fest.
Yeah, see, and that shit just didn't feel natural.
On paragliders? That shit's wild.
You know how I don't know, man. It just seemed like they wanted to have a war. We had to figure out a way to start a war. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. It's just something. It just doesn't pass the whole thing doesn't pass the smell test to me.
Well, I don't think there's any denying that or that the Hamas did that.
Yeah, I'm not saying that either, but
But no, you could definitely go because so apparently we could do a whole pod. We don't need, but I've been doing a lot of information research, but I haven't been doing just like local or recent. I haven't been doing just recent research of like what's going on right now. Like I'm gonna watch videos. I've been watching YouTube videos of like 10 years ago, 8 years ago, 4 years ago, about just different YouTube channels explaining Israel and Palestine and the history of it and how it's moved and shifted and just before this whole war even started.
Right, so not like conflict-based content.
Right. I was like, I want to really know. Like before there was some war, I mean, there's always been strife there, and you're going to find a leaning perspective, left or Palestinian side and Israeli side. So you really have to pull from all these different sources. I have to hear what the Jewish people are saying. I have to hear what the Muslim people are saying. Not just the Palestinians, but the whole Muslim region, and then what America says. So it's just there's so much history, and then piecing it all together with kind of what you think can come up with the truth is. So like I tried figuring all that out, and then now I'm trying to stay up to date with what's going on. And trying to get that information, too, is very hard because you have all these different people that have their narrative, and there's so much propaganda going on out there. Like, even Biden, Biden is the president of the United States is like spouting propaganda, Israeli propaganda. Like, very early on, we're talking about things that don't make sense. Did you hear about the 40 babies that were decapitated? Hamas stole 40 Jewish babies and decapitated all of them on October 7th. And Biden the next day, and to me, I was like, there's no fucking way. That's not real.
Right.
The very next day, Biden goes, and I saw pictures of, all these decapitated babies. No, he didn't. He just lied to throw that propaganda. It's a fucking mess. It's a fucking mess. And then I've been paying attention to Russia, Ukraine shit. It's just World War III. Alan Wayne, by the time this episode drops, World War III might have already started.
Yeah, man.
Well, we're living in a scary time right now.
Yeah.
You gotta get on the mic.
It's a scary time for a lot of things. Like
you can move this around.
I wonder, it's almost irresponsible, like, to start a new family right now and shit. Like, because you just don't know what's going on. Shit costs so much money, and like, and that's kind of a morbid thought, but
I think that's a very nice thought of not wanting to bring a human being into this mess right now. That's a responsible thought, I think.
Yeah, man. It would be hard to not have a little bit of layer guilt if all hell breaks loose, which all signs kind of point to, but
I'm thankful my son's 10 and not 18.
Yeah, man, real talk. Me too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. I'm cherishing this time while my little man is still a little dude, you know what I mean? Like innocence, reality comes and steals that away from you, bro. You know what I mean? Like, so that's a whole nother topic there.
Right.
We love the kids, man. Speaking of, man, that's been the highlight of my summer, dog. Like, my kiddo is like it's probably my biggest fan for real. Like, he knows the words of all my shit, all my unreleased shit. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, that's awesome.
There's a couple of songs I got to keep away from him. Some of the more adult content, but other shit like.
I was just say, there's not a single episode my kids know. Of mine. I could imagine putting my kid, hey, watch this.
Yeah, man.
Watch Daddy get lit.
Nah, you got to see me. You got to see me perform though, so that was tight. You know what I'm saying? And he was all about it, man. And then we had this shout out to Sick and Twisted. It's a conglomerate out.
Man, you've been rolling with them forever.
Yeah, man, they booked me a lot, man. They solid, man. They always doing some community based shit, So that's why I really fuck with them the way that I do.
Mm-hmm.
So I love. Shout out to the whole camp over there, man. But they put on like a charity basketball game and shit. Like, they asked me to play and perform. Well, I got a ankle that I gotta hop around and rap on that's already fucked up. So I got a nephew who's like NBA caliber, like seriously and shit. So he played in my place, and I went full Tupac above the rim and like was the coach and shit. And he was my little sidekick, you know what I mean? And it was a big time for him too, you know what I mean? Like, so I kind of got to bring him in to my world a little bit.
Nice.
You know, sort of for the first time.
Nice.
You know, he's too rambunctious for the studio, but
Yeah.
yeah, oh yeah, it's a different time.
All right, so we were talking last week on the phone, and you told me to bring up on the podcast guests canceling or guest cancellations, and I don't know what you meant by that. Or
Oh yeah, I'm glad that you mentioned that.
yeah, I wrote it down.
You are good at your job, dog. Like, man, you really have stepped it up. Like, I mean, you came out the gate pretty hardcore. You know what I'm saying? Swinging for the fences. But I mean, it's like you're polished now, man. And it's those little things, man. I'm a geek for the particulars, dog. And that's mastery, bro.
All right, well, go on.
Okay. Anyway,
I don't love compliments.
So
Charles, you want some more whiskey?
You've got a pretty strict policy about, you know, once somebody cancels on you, you know, it's kind of like, you know, fuck you, not fuck you, but you're just not welcome back here, you know, and that is really, really eating. I hope I'm not putting them under the bus and making them sound soft or nothing, because it's not that. But D-Lo is really fucked up about not being welcome on here any longer.
Oh yeah.
And he keeps asking me to say something to you about. I'm like, I'm gonna hold it until I'm on air with him.
Damn you!
know
Really? You gonna
what
do
I'm
that
saying?
to me? You gonna
Yeah,
put me on the spot like that?
no. Listen, but look. I don't. You don't have to respond to that.
I will respond.
I don't hate
your man.
I don't hate your policy, to be honest with you. You know what I'm saying? But if there was ever somebody who was genuine about, you know, wanting to right the wrong of having to cancel. You know, I don't know what this story was.
Okay.
I didn't even get to it. I didn't even let him tell me the story. You know what I'm saying? But after like the third time he brought it up, I'm like, he really means it, because it's like random. And then he would hit me up about it, like, you know. So.
All right. Listen. I don't have it's not a super strict policy necessarily. But I mean, it's, you know, I can't get this. I take this very seriously. And if I book out a whole Sunday, like my whole day is booked because of this. If I wasn't having this, I would go play a poker tournament. It starts, you know, it doesn't matter. I would do something else. Like, so I set my whole day for a podcast. And then I don't usually have anybody on backup. So it really screws me up because I like, whatever. He invited himself on my show, which was fine because I'm cool with him. I'm like, all right, you're D-Lo the doctor. All right. You know, you're of course. I was like, all right, let's do it. I gave him a date. And then the day of, he's like, oh, hey, I'm sorry. I can't get up there. I don't have a ride or something. And he goes, I was going to bring Gotham City, Casey Gotham City. Who's that guy? Kansas City, Gotham City. You did a song.
Slaughter?
Slaughter? White guy? Bald white guy?
Yeah. Bald mixed guy, yeah. Slaughter.
Okay.
Yeah, man. Prayers up to Slaughter, too. He was going through something hella heavy. I'm not going to spread his business online right now.
Okay.
Big prayers up
well,
to him,
so
though.
he said, so he said I was going to have Slaughter come up there, too. I was like, well, I didn't really invite him. I invited you. So he was like, going to bring a guest, but since he couldn't get a ride with Slaughter, I don't know. And it was on the day of. If he would have told me, like, ahead of time, like, hey, I'm not going to have a ride or whatever, okay, but don't do it day of. So that, I don't like when that happens. That's like not cool. And then, but I don't know. Then I had another, whatever. Yeah. I guess it doesn't sound as bad as it is, but I think there was another thing. Like, I tried getting him a job at a local studio, like making pretty good money being an engineer and producer, like.
Okay, so there's layers to this cake.
And he was like, oh, thanks. I just started working for a friend, and I didn't want to do them like that. I was like, but this is like, I don't. In my mind, I was like, this is kind of a cool opportunity to go work in a professional studio and like get connections and learn more. I don't know. It's just like kind of level up in your career. If that's like, to me, I was like, well, maybe he's not taking it super. I don't know. It just kind of blew me off with that, and I don't know. It just kind of rubbed me the wrong way a little bit. And then he's probably hitting you up because recently a rapper hit me up, said he wanted to come on the show, and he works with D-Lo, and they were both going to come on the show. I was like, I don't know.
See, that's why sometimes you got to know a little bit. I should have let him open his mouth a little bit. See, I didn't know about the other things and stuff like that. You know what I mean? But I just wasn't, I often find myself in the mediator of the situation. I'm not saying this is a situation that needs mediation or anything. That's the problem with words.
Sure.
None of them say what you ever really mean. They're always like close but no cigar, no matter what you're saying. But yeah, man. No, I understand, man. I understand where you're coming from, man. Like,
yeah,
things matter.
I mean, he asked to come on my show and then ditched me, and like didn't give me any warning. I don't know. Maybe that's petty, because I've given other people multiple chances, or I don't know. Let me think about it.
Hey, man. And that's more than anybody can ask for. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
All right. Okay, that's why. That's why I brought the guest cancellation up. Okay.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Okay.
And I did forget about it until you mentioned it.
Well,
shout out to D-Lo the Doctor.
Look, I respect his craft. I think he's very talented at what he does.
Oh yeah, there's
He came in here with some gal, and they sang a song on here. Da 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 da. I don't remember what the words were, but sax me up. I don't know, sax me up and down or something. I don't know. They came in here singing it. It was fun.
Yeah, what's up, man?
It was cool.
He's a fun kid, man. But yeah, there's a lot of people who you can respect the craft and not. I can relate. I always say that.
Okay.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
There is this dude. I do think of D-Lo from time to time. There is this dude on TikTok. I think his name is Human Robot or something like that. He looks a lot like D-Lo, and he dances like a robot, like amazingly. Like, it's like, holy shit, is this really a robot with a human skin on it? Do you know who I'm talking about?
I have no idea.
Oh my God, he looks so much like D-Lo. I'm gonna tell my kids this is D-Lo the Doctor.
I gotta find this D-Lo the robot.
Let me find it right now.
Yeah, we got all kind of shit to watch, man. We got UFO sightings. We got D-Lo the robot. You know, man. This
human. Yeah, I'll find it. Well, I'll remember it. The Human Robot, or I Am Not a Human Robot. It's something like that. I'm sure if you Google that, it would pull up. Try to Google that on your phone real quick, Charles, if you will. See if you can find that. All right, so what do we got for music coming? Just see what, like, Human Robot or I Am Not a Human Robot, and you'll see this dude with, like, his pants pulled up. He looks like kind of like, I don't know. I don't want to be insulting when I say what he looks like. It just looks like D-Lo, but nerdier. All right. Well, whatever.
I'm really intrigued.
So what do you got for music?
Okay, yeah, I'm excited. Next Sunday, and
you're dropping little pieces here and there.
Oh well, we're getting there. You know what I mean? Like I really gotta do this right. You know what I'm saying? But starting on something that was just supposed to be like a little short that we were gonna use at some point in time when we were closer to whatever launch means. But it came out so good that Mike Polk, shout out to Mike Polk, kind of taking the head on a lot of this visual aspect of things we got going on. He's like, man, I don't want to just he wants to make a full-fledged video out of it, and I see why. Like it came out like almost too good to just use for something 15 seconds. So gag is I don't know if you're familiar with the artist who's from here, but he resides in Dallas now, Key the Heater.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so he's featured on there. So I was like, well, let me see if we can coordinate that. But he happens to be coming to town next weekend, so we're scheduled for Sunday. We're gonna finish that up.
Sunday.
Yeah, man.
Oh, but not a show.
No, we're gonna come. We're gonna get this video.
I was like, ooh, a show on Sunday. I'm there.
Oh, no,
I can do a Sunday show.
Oh man, I'm gonna keep that in mind though.
Yeah.
Sundays, okay. But yeah, man. So yeah, I'm excited to get that done. That song is dope. One of the dopest 1-2 features that I've done in a long time. It sounds like you could hear more of that. It matched. The energies it was really dope. I like the way that came out a lot. So I'm excited to get that in. I just recorded something that I can't take off or repeat. I'm gonna play it for you off air a little later.
Oh yeah, nice.
Yeah, man. I just got that mixed back. I don't even want to say much about it yet, but so like I said, I've been working on what feels like it's gonna be the demonstration 3, still counting. It's like my demonstration idea.
It's gonna be called the demonstration 3 and counting.
Still counting.
Still counting.
Yeah, it's kind of heavy. It's almost too much, but fuck it. It's my.
You're gonna start getting people confused with all these.
Yeah, I know. I'm banking on.
Why not a whole new project name or something?
Because this is gonna be the last of those.
Okay.
Before I do, I'm trying not to do like the Chiefs did the Broncos and overlook what I'm working on right now because I got my eyes on something else. But I definitely got my eyes on what's after this. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know what you're saying.
So
I don't know what you have going on after this. So
well,
no, I don't know what you're saying.
Well,
what are you gonna do? Do a cooking show on YouTube or something?
I'm gonna close the chapter on this 10,000 hours and counting project and this demonstration idea that I just got to get out of my head.
I love 10,000 hours and counting. I know I've probably texted you too many times about it, but those 2 albums. I mean, not often do I find albums anymore, no matter who it is, where you can go from start to finish and not skip any of the songs. And that's for both of those albums is like that for me. Like I don't want to skip any of the songs. I fucking love all of them. And everybody I talk to, I tell them about you. Like I want everybody, because have you ever been a big fan of somebody and you want other people to listen to them? Like I want you to hear what I hear. Like listen, like this is, you just tell people. That's you for me. Like I want everybody to hear your stuff all the time. Like I don't know. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like how I'm like, and I get frustrated. And I get frustrated for you. Maybe it's like, how are you not bigger? Like why? Like what? Like it's just luck. Like is there just somebody you haven't met yet that you have to know that get like, you're not any less talented than the top people up there. Like how do you get from here to there? It's not the skill. Your skill's there. Like what is it? I'm not saying but I get frustrated. I'm like, come on, world, whatever's out there. Like how is this not? I don't know,
but I mean I know it's on me to figure out.
But it might not even be anything you can control. You know what I mean? Like it might be just. I don't know. Just I mean, maybe you have something like what luck is when preparation meets opportunity.
Yeah, man.
So maybe you have to have the. I don't know. Sorry, I'm always at a loss for it.
Well, I'm telling you, man. I can't think of a doper thing anybody said to me easily all year that you just said, man. So I appreciate that more than I even have words for, bro. But yeah, man, I just if anything, it's keeping me hungry as a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? So like I'm trying not to miss. Like I'm I'm really more focused than I might come off. Right now, I kind of seem I can't
missing in action.
I can't think of a more antisocial period in my life. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just so focused on getting this right and me right. You know what I'm saying? Like simultaneously, and whenever you're trying to do that, usually life has a way of like really trying to say, oh yeah, you want to focus? We'll focus on this with this shit going on. And man, like life roundhouse my ass a couple times, like with some unbelievable who are the new writers type of shit. You know what I'm saying? Like catastrophe type, real, shit that I haven't.
Like your dad?
Yeah, I mean we got that. That's got several layers of that, and then there was a house fire that we can't get too much into, but that really threw off a lot of shit. Then I took something else that I can't really talk about on here. I could talk to you about it, but yeah, I just had some catastrophes, and then a foolish L on my end.
Oh shit!
All at a very unopportune time. You know what I'm saying? So I'm kind of where I was up for a minute. In the independent artist times, it's feast or famine, and I was feeling more feast, like right on time too. But then life, it had other plans. You know what I'm saying? So, but we good, and I don't think that my focus is helping me because it's that energy has to go somewhere.
Right.
So like I really don't know if the music that I'm coming with would have whatever it has if it wasn't for the canvas of life that I'm writing against. You know what I'm saying?
That's one of the only things I'm thinking of when you're saying all the shit that you're going through is like, well, I guess the positives out of this is it can be used for music.
Well, yeah, and it's funny. I'm sure that whatever's next will be more reflective than this shit, because a lot of this shit, I'm not actively writing about what's going on. There's not a lot of that. You would think there would be, but it's not. That's usually not how it happens, though. But the whatever the fuck this bullshit I'm writing is incredible. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's still, it has its, like, I've never been able to like record traumatic music during traumatic times.
Okay, yeah.
It's weird, and I realized that. I tried to the only session that I had to throw a towel in on ever, like, man, I'm gonna have to revisit this, I'll come back. I was doing Made Bad, and that song kind of is in a darker pocket, and I don't know what the fuck was going on, but it wasn't all good, and I was thinking that was gonna be my outlet. I couldn't wait to get to the studio that night, dog. And I was, I'm a perfectionist, I'm pretty sharp, you know what I mean? If I do something 100 times, just because it has to be that right, not because I'm butchering shit. I don't know who was in that booth. It wasn't me. You know what I'm saying? But I came back and killed it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, but yeah. So ever since then, I realized the pattern that should have come out later. But in the meantime, there's other fire that's still getting pushed to the forefront. And something happens there. So like, yeah, man.
Can you tell a difference now? Like, is there a difference between writing this project, going through all of this stuff? Is there a difference in sound or emotion or in writing that's different from your previous projects, I guess? Like, is it, like a completely different sound or anything like that?
No, I don't think it's completely. What I've noticed is that I'm glad I'm having this conversation with you because you kind of know the music. You know what I'm saying? I'm not even
I kind of know it.
You know the music. I ain't even gonna step on it like that. The demonstration 2 in comparison to the 10,000 hours overall. 10,000 hours more cerebral. It's more calm in delivery. It's more. So it's a quiet confidence about it. In comparison, the demonstration
cleaner too.
Yeah, and demonstration is a rougher, it's edgier. It's got some rock shit on there. You know what I'm saying? more powerful. That's why a lot of those songs still get performed. They perform well. You know what I'm saying? It's a different kind of. I love getting into the 10,000 hours. When I got a crowd for real, and they're really hanging on to the words, I can do 10,000 hours push play. I can do the whole album and shit. Like, cause it's a different. It's almost like a lecture.
Next time you perform, let's do Most Gangsters. I'll do C-Dub's version.
Man, yeah, that'd be tight. But yeah, this feels like a little bit of both of those.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And I didn't go in there with any of that.
Right, it just happened.
I just as I listen to it, that's what it feels like. You know, energy wise, sound wise.
Like who's making like different producers?
Well, you know, I still got my hometown. I still got D-Lo. Still got a lot of rival on here. I got a young guy out of Florida who's really beasting on some mainstream shit these days. He used to go by J.R. Thumps, but he's going by Juan Rubio now, I believe.
Juan Rubio?
Yeah, I mean,
I like it.
Yeah, he's always randomly sends me shit. He's in the studio with Rick Ross and just random people out of.
Oh shit.
Yeah, he's doing a lot, man. But he blessed me with something else. He did what did he do? He did Pitch Black, and he did something else that I can't remember, I think, but he definitely did. Gave me something beautiful. It's another guy from around here, DJ Statics. He did a couple on there, and I don't believe I'm leaving out anybody, but a lot of D-Lo, whole lot of Rival. Rival's been in an interesting form. D-Lo's always a workaholic, so you know you gotta. Which D-Lo's D-Lo, but Rival, he's more of he's a different kind of producer. You know what I'm saying? He's not a everyday machine. You know, has to strike him, and he's been doing some really big shit, like big records. So I'd like to see where that's growing into. Even this last night, the guys who I did that 10,000 hours album with down in Omaha, they're kind of dualistic between Omaha and Denver now. They're talking about if I would come back out for like a week or so to do like a in-studio situation like we did last time for like a 6-song EP and shit.
Nice.
Like, so that's right on time in between. Like I said, when I'm coming out, man, I'm coming out running. You know what I'm saying?
I'm sure I've asked you this, but like, who are, if any, would be like the dream producers to work with?
Man, DJ Quick is always really high on my my list of people. Damn, you know.
How would you make that happen?
I don't know. I'd Google DJ Quick, and then I'd
DM
start
him?
there. You never know. Like I guess that's a good question. But who else? Who was There's a lot of dope ass producers.
DJ Mustard.
Yeah, I mean, when I think about the reason I say DJ Quick too, it's not just because he's as legendary as he is, he's still kind of unsung to me. But it doesn't seem unrealistic. You know what I mean? Like stranger things have happened. Somebody who I would have really had loved to work with, and this would have worked. I could have made this happen. One of my the guy who's shout out to Mike Watson from Dino's Carvings, the guy who did the portrait of my face and came down.
Oh man, you got the coolest fans.
Yeah, I really do.
I got no one like that. Fans out there, draw me one.
Dude, I have. That's the thing. I don't have a million fans, but I don't have any casual fans. I have either people don't know me or it's like fanatics. You know what I'm saying? So there's a thin line there. But he's done a lot of those for the stars and shit like that. So he's developed interesting relationships, and one of the closest relationships was with Digital Underground.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Yeah, and I loved everything that that came out from that band. Do you know what I'm saying? Since I was a baby. So if I would have got to do something with Shock G, that would have been. I would have been able to quit making music. I've been wanting to redo Sex Packets before I even knew I was going to be doing music full time. Like,
really?
Since I was a little bitty kid, like I could redo that. You know what I'm saying? I'm still holding on to that. But yeah, he's introducing me to Money B and shit. You know what I'm saying? So like I know that if Shock G was alive, and especially if he heard some of the shit that I'm gonna play, the song I'm gonna play you in particular, they would have fucked with me, man. You know what I mean? So rest in peace, Shock G. That would have been incredible. But I really can't say like any of those heavy hitters because, you know, not that I don't believe that I'm up to par. It's just when I think about the way reality works, I can see me lining up with DJ Quick. I can see that happening for some reason. You know what I'm saying?
All right, well, start looking into how you could make that happen.
I will, man.
Like I'm trying to think of ways to get like I just approach things different ways, and I'm like, well, maybe no disrespect to the producers and engineers you have now, but like, is there like anything else levels to every game? And if you just like, let me just try a different approach with these other maybe more known type people that have more connections, even maybe not even just about the quality of their beats that they're making like that, but maybe it's that paired with that they have connections with other labels and rappers, and just, you know, it's a networking game, I think, just like anything else.
Yeah.
And so, like, I don't know, do you ever think about like, yeah, let me just try to like go, you know, level up a little bit, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, you know, one of the things though,
find DJ Quick, figure out how to get him.
We do
go,
that.
it's like stalk his ass. Like, go on his Instagram, see if anybody you follow, like anybody that follows you follows him, or he follows you type shit. Just be like, oh, you know, just, I don't know,
something that I'm going to do, or something that's going to happen. You know, I keep you know, everything's in divine timing, and what's going to be for me is for me. You know what I'm saying? And but this shit takes a team. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real. And this is not a knock on anybody. If anybody, it is a knock on somebody. It's a knock on me if it's a knock on anybody. Not since my original Dave Kinch, who I locked in with when I was getting out, when I was still in high school, actually. That's the only time that I ever had somebody who, when they woke up and went to bed, this is what they was thinking about too. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And we got as close as you can get, for real, from coming from that era. You know what I'm saying? Like, Motown calling back. You know, that's big to say.
Right.
Like, nobody can take that away from me.
I do forget.
It's been
I forget you did have like a little bit of a meteoric rise in the beginning.
Yeah, you know, it is. Yeah, and you know, this is like I said, extra innings. A lot of people don't realize that, which is tight. You know, because whatever's happening, it's like it's its own thing.
It's unrelated. It's not because of that.
Yeah, man. Matter of fact, I try to keep that buried. You know, I don't talk about that shit. I don't go on there and like use that as a
right. No, I know.
Clout thing or nothing
like
that.
I think that's because also just from knowing you and talking to you so long that was like not even who you are now.
Oh no, man.
Like that was a whole, like you were drinking back then.
Hell yeah, dude. This shit like wiped.
Yeah, like you were a child. That was a whole nother lifetime.
Yeah, I cringe when I hear that music. Like I've done a pretty good job of burying it until, you know, times are more appropriate. But and it's no
well, there's a time and place for a couple of those songs.
Yeah, I mean, somebody pulled one out when they were doing a promo for this basketball game I was talking about, which I had to get out of my,
feelings. Why'd you pick out the Tech Nine song?
My dualistic ego knows some old shit off of some of my older shit that I didn't even know was still lingering around. Like they couldn't have got that off of I don't know where they got that from. You know what I'm saying? But they found like an old song. It's a dope song, but just to listen to that, I'm a hyper visual person, and things take me right back to places and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? I hear that shit and I'm right back to a strange foreign third world that doesn't even exist no more. You know what I'm saying? So a little PTSD involved now that I say that shit out loud.
Really?
I've never really said it that plainly, I guess. So hearing that for the first time out loud, that's what it sounds like.
What were what years were you like really living the lifestyle? I mean, you know what I mean? Like your heyday back when you were doing stuff with like Tech Nine and
dude,
Like, was that like 99, 2000?
Nah, well, I dropped my first shit in 2001, 2002, and I was like, what? I think I had just turned 19. I had recorded most of that music during that previous year. I was like 17, 18 years old. During the recording and creation of that shit, we're dealing with people like my producer at the time was a guy, Little Ronnie, who's multi-platinum now. So we were swimming in like the right energies and shit. And like the guy who was funding everything then, like literally just like, dude, I got XYZ and it's growing. Like this is all in. So I was used to working. I had been working since I was like in 8th grade and shit. So coming out of high school, when I said I wasn't going to go to school, I was going to work and do this. It got to a point that I didn't want to or have to do them. Like I really kind of had that deal. You know what I mean? Like it was an independent. If we would have been wiser people, if we would have been more in the know instead of 2 kids, we would have had contracts drew up. He would have had this done up, and we did. We licensed our label and shit like that. Trying to be Jay-Z, trying to be Tech and Trav. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say Jay-Z and Dame, but just call it closer to home. You know what I mean?
Well, that's who you saw doing it here.
Yeah, I mean that's where I got my,
that's your circle.
Yeah, that's where I got ushered into that shit.
Mm-hmm.
No Tech Nine know me and Robert Rebeck. He made that connection and shit like that. And I don't even know. I wouldn't even want. I have nightmares sometimes about Rebeck not wanting to do this no more. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like for real. Like I'm gonna quit saying that shit. But yeah, I don't even know what I would. So yeah, much homage just paid forward. But if we would have known, there's no different. That's the best music situation I've been in since.
Mm-hmm.
And then right after that, it didn't go all the way like it was supposed to. I found myself in something that was comparable, but it was just me and a whole bunch of money and not knowing how to move. And I wasn't as connected as I am now either. So I was paying for everything, like Dave was when it was churning. And yeah, it's another couple of strokes of bad luck. So I'd say from high school until around 2008, I was running this. As I reflect back on it, it's hard to realize. I feel like I'm talking about somebody else.
Right.
Like it's almost. Yeah, I don't like to talk about it because you realize you did a little bit more than you actually feel like you did, and it sounds like you're trying to make it sound like that too, even if it's not. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
I know what you mean.
I have a hard time talking about it. It's cringy to me. You know what I'm saying? But depression is a strange beast. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I do.
And so
it's a motherfucker.
a lot of the actual tech features and shit happened after my well had ran kind of dry.
Oh yeah.
And it was kind of like shit I could hang my hat on and remind myself that I was still even doing this.
Charles.
So. Cause I never I look up and I hadn't done anything in about 10 years and shit. You know what I mean? But I never. And that's when you hang something up. I never claimed that. I never meant to do that. You know what I'm saying? But
would you do anything with Tech Nine again? Would you be interested in doing a song with him?
Yeah, I'm sure that'll happen.
Yeah.
I'm like
I mean, even if it's just for fun.
I mean, it's gonna happen. Period. You know what I'm saying? Like we've had conversations and shit. Just whenever. I one thing I do appreciate about the way he approaches things is, if it doesn't happen, it's just because whatever music that happened to fall on him from the atmosphere just wasn't the one. He's not gonna force anything to happen. It's gonna have to be like, this is, I hear this on there, and that's the way I like to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like people will always ask, well, what happened? You reached out that way. How hasn't he been on anything of yours? I'm like, because I don't want to. If I hear it, you know what I'm saying, and that'd be a conversation that we can have. I haven't really wrote that Alan Wayne Tech 9 record. You know what I'm saying?
Could you reach out to him and be like, hey, do you have a song I can be on?
No, I wouldn't do nothing like
Why
that.
not?
No, because I respect my craft enough. I see myself.
I'm just saying, like, look,
No, I mean,
if there was a podcast across town that I've wanted to be on, and they've never asked me, but I know them, I'd be like, hey, all right, you're not going to come to if you're not going to come to my studio, I really want to hang out and talk to you. I did that with
I mean that
Slim Fast and Brian B.
Look,
I was like,
look, my whole thing is I'm just not. That's a say.
It's not even a clout chasing thing, Alan Wayne.
No,
to me, this is just like, hey, I want to work with you, be fun.
No, it's worse than a clout chaser thing.
See, I don't.
It's because I'm already welcome in the building. You know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't gotta ask like that. Now it seems opportunistic because it feels sticky.
You have to let it out there.
And I'm not that. Like I said,
it's not like that though.
And look, and if it never ever were to happen, like I say that with confidence, like we'll record again. But if it were never to happen, that's not. Look, I have a bucket list.
All right, I know that.
And a Tech 9 song is just not one of them any longer.
I get that.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like, so it's not. It's just not. There's.
Okay.
You know, I believe that.
Okay, that's fine. I thought I'm not looking at. I'm just looking at it as like, hey, you and I both like doing this. It's been a while since we've done something there. Let's just do it.
No, I feel you.
It'd be fun to do.
No,
we don't even have to release it. It'd just be fun to do.
You know, how do I put this?
I don't know. Give it to me straight. No OJ, no straw. When you give it to me, yay, give it to me raw.
If you're a coach, a lot of times you treat your star pupil a little differently.
Yeah.
You know.
I always got treated differently.
You know,
I got that special treatment.
I just think that I think I'm all whatever I got going. It's a complete own beast of its own, and I think that it's.
I get it. Look, you don't want to work with them. I get it.
No, it's not that. No, we're gonna.
You're like, yeah, whatever it is, what it is.
We'll work. You know, for
you got
sure.
somebody.
You know what I'm saying? Like, no, but I just think that there's just levels. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you see he wouldn't have done it, and he sees me in similar lights as he sees himself. I think he believes it to a degree that I do, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I have reason to believe. So you know.
Yeah, I know you
do,
but you're not going to talk about it. I wish you would.
No.
How long ago was that?
No, I'm not even talking about that.
Yeah, but can you talk about that or no?
See, no.
Still okay.
No, that's nothing that.
All right. I mean, it was a couple years ago, so I didn't know if there was something.
No, that's between like that's just something off my chest between very, very, very. I won't even call that a circle. You know what I'm saying? So,
okay. Well.
So yeah, man. Like, and you know, I'm just a mirror is a motherfucker, dog. You know what I'm saying? And perspectives, when you can back up off of something sometimes, even if it's for whatever the reason is, you know, like I'm like I said, there's nothing weird. I'm in a whole different, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Anything. I am in complete control of my destiny.
You'll work with anybody, right? Like if people come to you, I mean, I know there's features and you might charge whatever your feature price would be, but like, will you work with most anybody if they come to you like, hey, I want you to feature on?
Yeah, man. It has to be like a for lack of a less grandiose thing to say, it had to be like a brand conflict for me not to want to do something. Like, it's just gonna be it's not gonna make sense for it to be like a weird or bad. You start off with narrative of what we're trying to create here. You know what I'm saying? Like, if it's bad for that for some reason, or if it's something I know about you behind the scenes that I can't associate myself with.
Oh, right.
There's
There's caveats to it.
yeah, I'm too
For sure.
I'm solid out here, man, at this point.
No, I get that. I guess I shouldn't say anybody, but
if there was like, I don't have like there's a lot of artists and I respect it when they get to a certain degree. They almost have like like a quality control, and I have that to a degree. You know what I'm saying? But there's very few people, genuine people, who I won't collab with. Most of my fans are a lot of my fans are aspiring artists. You know, I'm like a rapper's rapper. You know, blueprint for a lot of people. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And that's cool. There's a lane for that. I'm in it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. So like, just to know the reason that they're coming to me, because I'm only, for a few more pennies on the dollar, you can go get somebody that's got 1 million streams somewhere.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I know when they're coming to me, they want, it's almost like a custom piece. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, we get like a commissioned piece of art.
Right.
So and I treat it like that. You know what I'm saying?
I just look at, like, when I look at the Kansas City local hip hop scene, like with some of, like, I don't know if you say top guys, but kind of the top more well-known guys that almost a lot of people know. They all have their own little circle or crew that they kind of work with, do projects together with. And sometimes I just want to be like, I wish some of these people would branch out more. You know what I mean? Just like across aisles, if you will. Like,
yeah.
Not necessarily blood crip, but kind of. Like, there's some dudes in the city that rep the blue pretty hard, and there's some dudes in the city that rep the red pretty hard. And it's cool if they can come together with some, like,
Yeah, if just some, people's, it's real campy,
Right.
And that's, if we would work together a little bit more, that would be tight, you know what I'm saying? Because that's a lot of worlds coming together.
That's what
what I'm saying?
That's what I love about collaborations. I love doing other people's podcasts.
And it's just gonna take it's just gonna take some sort of icebreaker, and it's never. And we have to at least band together. We don't have to do anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, one thing about it is, whatever it's gonna be, it's gonna be. You know what I'm saying? And I'm in that world, I'm like I don't know if there's more of us. I don't know if there's more solo of a solo act out here than me.
There's not. That's why I bring it up. I don't see you doing much with many local people.
But if we would just learn how to, at least to the outside world, present it as if we do work with one another, I got love for one another. And if we can't settle our differences in close quarters and at the mall or some shit, then, let's avoid each other there. Because if you dig deep, people always talk about, like, Atlanta. They always use Atlanta. But if you're really from Atlanta or know some people from Atlanta, it's really not that tight as you would think it was.
It's a big city, right?
A lot of those collabs that we saw, those people didn't have those relationships with one another. Those were smart A&Rs, because there were still these things called A&Rs back then, who were like, we can make this make sense. They were trying to really grab their own money up. You know what I'm saying? And it just created this thing. They all worked together with no shit, and they were all under L.A. Reid. You know what I'm saying? Like, or whatever the fuck. But so if we can just find a way to make it just, I don't know, and that's just me just thinking, because that's what it really would take. Just because it'll get people looking this direction. You know what I'm saying? And it's a prime time. Like, there's big eyes on the city, more so than ever.
More so than ever right now. That Taylor Swift's era.
Yeah, come on, man. This is the climax of it. I mean,
why don't you work with Taylor?
Hey,
Alan Wayne and Swifty.
I can see that.
I could see that too.
Yeah, man. I can see myself up in that box seat. You know what I'm
saying? Hanging out with Jackson Mahomes.
Oh, dog. Somebody needs to alert her to stay the fuck away from him. Like,
yeah.
crop him out the photos. You know what I'm saying? And that's just,
I know it is weird because he is on sexual assault charges.
yeah, dog. He's bad.
Like
blood.
she shouldn't be that close. I'm surprised that they were that close.
Yeah.
For publicity
And
reasons.
he's creepy looking even in those pictures that he's like.
He's a weird all around dude.
Yeah, man.
His dad's weird too, though. His dad's a creepy fuck.
I fuck with Papa Mahomes. So
Really?
I do. He reminds me of real life relatives of mine.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So.
All right.
Yeah, but he's yeah, man.
I've just heard a couple stories from some very trusted sources.
See,
I'm like,
now I don't have any real life backstory on him besides the imaginary one in my head that I've created.
I played poker with him last week.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You're getting pretty heavy into that poker world. Do you ever and I only say this because he's a poker head too, and he's probably the second most famous person on like the YouTube landscape from Kansas City after you, Nick Wright.
Oh yeah.
He's a poker head. Do you guys cross paths?
No.
It'll
He's
happen.
big time. He's in New York. You know, he doesn't come back to Kansas City.
Oh yeah.
He don't do shit here. I would have, but I was a big Nick Wright fan before
the climb.
I mean, it was I was a Nick Wright fan. How old? 16 years ago when he had a morning show here in Kansas City that nobody knew.
See.
I texted him like, you know, I was a big time fan, but now he's big time. He wouldn't. But I had one of his best friends on my show,
Well, that's tight.
Slim Fast from 96.5 The Buzz.
Oh, okay.
He's one of my favorite local radio guys.
Yeah, man, you're big time too, bro.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, man.
For sure. Had Brian B. Shining on.
I know, right?
That was
heavy.
dope.
Hey, that was epic, dog. There's these just few moments that I've had, like, dog, where, you know, if something, Lord forbid, happened, like, I can say that I did this to a degree that crossed a certain threshold, you know, and when you can have that inside joke play like as a wink and a gun on with the kind of voice of urban radio, and they do, you know, like, you know, you can't take that away from me, you know what I'm saying? You don't even have to know, but I know, you know what I mean? Like, there's a guy who gave a damn enough to carve my face out of wood, a replica of me that looks more like me than I do. I can hang up in my mother's house, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can't imagine a Grammy hitting more harder than that. Oh, we'll see though.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find out. Don't get me wrong. You know what I'm saying? That's not one of those stories. This is not one of those hanging up your hat stories by our moments at all. Like, I've never felt more. It's weird. Like, I've never. It's so yin and yang, dog. Like, I can, in one breath, I say I've never felt more motivated about the music, and that's true. But something about that just feels contradictory. It's because you know, I don't know. Like, you know, I guess these are the moments that make or break folks, because you feel like something's got to give. You know what I'm saying? Like, it seems like you keep on knocking, and you know, like, you pass the test. Like, I'm not delirious. This shit is, I'm on it. This shit's right. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, is it you? You know what I'm saying? You know, like, you had to take that step back, and I found myself doing that a lot, maybe for the first time ever. But what's coming out, I think, is a result of that. So, like, I don't know if it's like I've created this issue that doesn't exist or what the fuck. You know what I'm saying? But it's weird. And it's like, it's really all consuming, and I can see myself being a nuisance to get along with now and everything. Like, so I can, you know, I'm really, as I look at I hate that. There's only a few other artists who I can relate to in the mad scientist type of way, who have this idea in their head that won't waver this way or that way, otherwise the picture won't come out right. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
And that's the way that I am about this thing. Like, I don't even have the answer to what right is, but I know it. You know what I'm saying? I can feel it, and I just don't want to half step or make a move out of desperation, because there are favors I could call in. You know what I'm saying? Across.
You got all this from my inside joke to Brian B. Shining?
You can get a lot of an inside joke.
Yeah, that's
what
wild.
I'm saying? Real shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because out of all,
It's wild.
yeah, I mean, because what are the odds? You know what I mean? When you're in there doing that song, you know, and the
What are the odds that it gets to that?
yeah,
To a
yeah.
okay, that
Like-
is wild, isn't it?
like this, like
I didn't think nothing of it other than I knew I was gonna do it before I had him on, like before he was in my studio. I was like, I have to do this.
yeah,
I have to do it.
it's almost like why you have to record everything that comes across your head. Not everything, but when in doubt, record that shit, because the song has plans of its own. You know what I mean? Like that's beautiful. Like that's like.
For those out there listening, Alan Wayne's song. Oh shit! What song is it?
The Most Gangsters.
Oh, that is The Most Gangsters.
Yep.
He's got a line in there. Now, I ain't dissing Brian B. or Shay, but the program director is full of hella hate and shit. That's not all I gotta say. What up, gangsta? Well, when I had Brian B. on, I dropped that line at the very end.
Yeah, man, it was an epic moment in my slice of the reality pie, man. That was super duper dope, man. Hats off to you, my man. That was good form, dude.
It was fun.
Yeah, it's like, and the delivery was, it was, I could see you being a good poker player, good billiard player. Period. You shoot pool and shit.
I can shoot some pool.
Yeah, you got that going on about you, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, it's tight.
I got a few things going on.
Yeah, man.
And I wonder the same thing for myself that I wonder for you. Like, why haven't I gotten bigger yet? You know what I mean? I'm like, this podcast is really fun. It's really good. Like,
Yeah,
we
man.
have so much fun.
It's
Like, the conversation, the people, and again, it's not me. It's the people that I have such great stories in it, and so much good shit comes out of that fucking chair. I'm like, I want more. I want it to be so big because people need to hear these fucking
I think we can psychoanalyze this shit to death, and we can probably find some good solutions to always move, keep it moving forward, upward and outward, and all that shit. But truth be told, people used to be like one hit away back in the day. That equals a solid viral moment,
right.
Not just any viral moment. Those days are over. You can't make a buffoon of yourself. But
No, I don't know. I think that's still alive and well.
I mean, not if
I think throwing yourself in front of a car
yeah,
is still getting hits.
yeah, but so many people are doing that you're gonna get topped the next day.
Right.
You gotta have a viral moment with some type of undertone of substance to it, and then it's on you. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So we just gotta keep on swinging it.
We gotta get viral, baby.
Yeah, man.
What are we gonna do?
I don't know, dog.
How do we get viral? Charles, what do we do?
I'm still trying to get viral.
You're still trying to get viral too?
I'm trying to go viral.
I think we should go to Vegas.
You know I'm down for Vegas.
See, and that's why I said that. I get that from you. You're a more interesting person than I am.
I don't know
You
about
what I'm saying?
that.
You are, like, as far as yeah, you're out more. You do more. You host big shit.
Well, let's go to Vegas. What are we gonna do?
I don't know, man. We're gonna do the pod.
Do a pod? Do a show out there? Do a live show?
Yeah, fuck it.
Or put a table on the strip?
Build it and make it come, dog. And you know what we should
Put one of those. I got one of those 6-foot plastic tables. Put that on the strip with like how Steven Crowder, if you know who that is, he goes to college campuses and says, "There are only 2 genders. Change my mind." And he puts a poster on that, and then he hosts, and then whoever wants to come up talks to him, and they get in these arguments or debates. We could do that on Vegas.
I think we wouldn't even have to do that. I think what we would do is
Not something like that, but
No.
put a table out there with my equipment.
yeah, if we set up in Vegas, just on a strip randomly, anywhere, even if it's on, on Beaumont Street or whatever, the old strip.
No, I don't. Well, actually, that might be a good spot for it.
I'm just saying because we would have more space and opportunity without getting
No,
lost
you're right.
in translation. We set up there, and you see most people when they go to Vegas, they're the sideshow act. They're trying to gather everybody. We set up there real pro-like. We might do a little bit of we're out here in Vegas shit, but very little of that. Like, and just be there, just doing like damn near what we're doing right now. Maybe with some speakers that are as big as they let us have. And they're like, what the fuck are these guys talking about? You know what I'm saying? Because it'll be like somebody's clearly, if we made it look big enough to gather people, then we would still have to have some handlers around and hand out some content or tell them. And then, we had to be there for a couple of days. And maybe by day 3, we might have somebody from the streets that we met on day 1 come back because we met somebody while we were in Vegas. And
Dude, that's not a bad idea. I'm thinking about that's not a bad idea. Or put up a table with the podcast equipment on there and invite people like, hey, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Tell your story.
Yeah.
And then I interview somebody for 5 or 6 minutes. You play a song, one of your songs on a speaker, and we'd like kind of do like a little show like that.
Yeah, man, we could do some.
Put some QR codes out there and a hat.
Hell yeah, dude, I'll be a good co-host for you.
Charles can perform.
You know what I'm saying?
Charles can perform songs too.
Yeah, man.
We could. Oh, that'd be.
Yeah, man.
We would. That would go viral. That would. I would get some views.
And I got foot soldiers in Vegas.
Okay.
Like some folks who would be able to spread the word and shit. Like, sometimes, you just gotta have these conversations out loud, dog.
It's cheap to go to Vegas.
It is. That's another thing.
I don't think I can fit a 6-foot table in the luggage aisle though. But it does fold down.
No, we'd have to figure it.
We'll figure that out.
Yeah,
we'll steal a coffee table from the hotel room.
Yeah, we could probably handle that on the ground.
Yeah, that's easy to
if
do.
If I say I got people on foot down there, I could have to, you'd have to pull my card. I have to try to prove that, like, we can get a table. You know what I'm saying? I can get a local table. I
think we could do that.
Yeah, man.
I'd be interested in that.
That'd be hard, man.
Where do you go when you go to Washington? Tacoma?
I go to between Tacoma. I do a little bit of Aberdeen awful lot. Shout out to Aberdeen. I'm in Olympia a lot. I'm in a lot of what's the other one that I'm in? Where was I just at? I was just somewhere that I didn't even.
You go to Seattle at all?
They're all the same. If you go to Tacoma, you're going to Seattle. It's like saying, it's like if you're coming to Kansas City, somebody's saying you go to KCK ever, like you're there. You know what I'm saying? Like even if you don't, you are.
We do something there too.
Yeah, man, for real. That'll be tight.
All right.
Yeah, man.
Let's fucking do something.
Yeah.
Let's start with Vegas.
Yeah, Vegas is cheaper.
Yeah.
More brightly lit, and
you get a crowd of people no matter what.
Yeah.
So it's gonna at least show up on camera like some shit's going on.
And you're gonna get more. I call Washington my home away from home, so don't take this wrong. Any of my fans from Washington they'll hear this, but Vegas has more interesting people on the street. Tacoma and Seattle, I think the reason I feel so comfortable there is because they're like, it's the swollen Northwest version of here. You know what I'm saying? It's very similar. The people, the mentality, they're a little nicer. You know what I'm saying?
Nicer than here?
I think so.
I don't believe it.
I do. Like,
I don't believe it.
You hear Southern hospitality.
Yeah.
You really don't hear Midwest hospitality. You know what I'm saying? And we don't have that moniker. They think we're slow and easy going, but nobody goes out the way and say we're extra nice. They say you can die around here. You know what I'm saying? Oh. And, you can die anywhere. But I'm saying, and I'm not saying that the Northwest has that Southern hospitality label, but they should. They are once they like you, they love you for life. You know what I'm saying? There's a different type of, they're very welcoming. I think it's because they got that Native American energy up there. It's a lot of that Native love.
We got a lot of Native American history here.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, no, we got nice people. Mm-hmm. But I'm just saying, there's more. People are looser, more. People are more settled in Washington.
I'll take your word for it.
It's dope though. The backdrop would be beautiful. It's a beautiful place, man.
Okay.
So yeah, We go do the demonstration version in Vegas, so we go do 10,000 hours in Washington.
Oh, here's what I was going to bring up. All right, so I don't know the name of the guy right now, but sometimes, my YouTube algorithm is all over the place. And there's this guy, he's a producer, he makes beats, and he'll go on, do you know what Fiverr is?
Yeah.
He'll go on Fiverr, he'll make a beat, and he'll get a Fiverr artist that costs $5, $100, $500, and $1,000. That's how much those rappers will charge to do a verse. So he makes his verse, and then he gets the $5, and then none of the Fiverr people know this, but he just buys them to do a verse on his beat, and then he puts on the YouTube channel, like, who did it best? The $5 guy, the $15 guy, or whatever.
Oh, shit.
And he does shit like that. And a lot of times his comments will get blown up with, like, I would have killed that. I would have killed all the rappers all over the country going, oh, I would have killed that. Why'd you get him? You should have had me. You know how rappers are all talking shit.
Yeah.
And so he'll do that. He'll go in, though. Oh, you said you would have killed it? Well, here's this beat. Kill this beat. And he makes these videos. I picked 5 rappers that said they would kill any beat. And then he critiques them.
Yeah, that's so smart, dog.
So that's something you could do is, like, find YouTubers that are doing that shit and be like, yo, I love that you did this beat. Let me try my hand at it.
Yeah, man.
I don't know. There's just different avenues.
Yeah, that is. That's tight, man. I gotta get out of my. Sometimes you can't tell whether it's your love for the art or if it's your ego. There's a thin line between your soul you and your ego you, because they both can be bullheaded. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Oh yeah.
Because, not to sound like arrogant, but I'm not just. These aren't Polaroids. These are Picassos. You know what I'm saying? Like, and what I could do a better job at, I guess. You hear my shit, and even when I do my feature, I tell them, like, I'm gonna need 2 hours in the lab, because if you want me to do some shit like you're hearing on my record, you know what I'm saying? This ain't no punch me in right here, let's go type of shit. There's vocal arrangement. There's a song structure here. This is a different process going on here, and it'd be probably easier to do something like that. What I would have to do is hear some shit and be able to think of something that I already got and be able to re-deliver something that's already out or some shit like that. Like, I wouldn't be able to put much thought into something new for somebody to go just put on their critique.
He'll give you as much, like, he gives people a ton of time.
Yeah, no, I dig it. Like, it's
and then he cleans it up and makes it sound,
Yeah, like
we're gonna make it a hit.
Yeah, like, it's probably a good idea. I'm just saying, like, it's honestly, like, it makes. I've had similar. That's probably the best of them. That's up there with those type of things that people ran by me. I really like that when you're from by design all the way down. Like, I wish I would have thought of that.
It's really cool.
But I just. It's like I had a similar problem. Half of it was because I was just a drunk and a waste of space. But even when I had moments of clarity during, like, that mixtape era, when that was real heavy, people just telling me how to do that. And I was a fan of that shit too. You know what I'm saying? I was listening to everything back then.
Got to get that mixtape.
I just didn't want to do it. Like, every time I approached it, I'm just like, man, I need something to do this too, because what I really want to do is, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I just couldn't get out of my way of that shit. Or if I knew the song already, it was fucked up because, like, my memory is real sticky. That's another thing why I don't like to listen to people. My memory is really, really, it's wonderful. Like, I don't write none of this shit down. I know all my songs. You know what I'm saying? And I say a lot of words.
Yeah.
So, it's just, I never could get into it just wasn't, it's like batting, it's like trying to shoot left-handed or some shit.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's not that I can't.
Okay.
And I can make those. I can shoot,
Well, it's just an idea to think.
No, but
like I said, I'm always thinking of ways for people to, blow up.
Yeah,
different avenues.
and if there was like a management type listening and like was going to do their research, like to give me a chance or some shit, and then they were to hear me say that, that's probably a turn off. You know what I'm saying? Like he's got you know what I'm saying? Like
I don't know about that.
I don't know, man. I can see myself being,
Yeah, that's the ego.
yeah.
That's the ego getting away.
I just,
All right, so another question. I'm a sucker. I've always been a sucker. You know what? I gotta piss so bad. Let me ask this question after I piss. I gotta go back. I gotta get out. Hold on. Let's take a break. All right. So I was saying before I rudely interrupted our podcast, I've always been a sucker for cover songs. I love Rage Against the Machine. I remember being like 17, going to a party concert thing, and this like band did a cover of Killing in the Name by Rage Against the Machine. It just turned into a mosh pit. It was a wild fucking time. And that's when I knew I love when people do other big, awesome songs. Is that something you would be interested in doing, like a cover song for? I know you mentioned it earlier.
Yeah, that's the only one I can think of that I would want to do, but I would want to do it right, full instrumentation and everything. I would want to do a Sex Packets, Digital Underground. That'd be hard. It's a sleeper song. It's not the most famous song by any means, but it was way before its time. You know what I'm saying? That would have been a hit right now. So and I can do me on there. You know what I'm saying? It's in a pocket that's up my alley.
Mm-hmm.
It wouldn't be too far out of my range of things. So I just want to do it right. If I can get it blessed, I've started that conversation.
Oh yeah.
With my carver guy to try to get a blessing from over there. You know what I'm saying? I just want to do it right.
All right, so where can people see you? You have any live performances coming up anytime soon?
I my next calendar date is Washington, right at the top of the year. I intentionally turned down.
At the top of the year?
Yeah.
What does that mean? January?
Yeah. So for the next
top of the year?
Yeah. So we're in November already. You know what I'm saying? But there's some shows that I, kindly said no to just because I've been wanting to. I wanted to get this album done, and I'm about there, and I really want to get some content shot for it. I really just want to focus on that because my shows take especially if I'm doing my sets. My sets recently have been like, besides the little local thing I did for that Oktoberfest. Shout out to Black Drip Coffee for having me for that. I haven't, and I still did I still did 40 minutes almost.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And I cut it down to like 36 or something like that. But I've been on the road doing like a full hour, hour and some change.
Damn.
That my show makes more sense when I can do it like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's like my shit really, 10,000 hours is a different experience when you push play. You know what I'm saying? It just really is. Like, that's just, it's not like it's a story, but it kind of just starts somewhere, ends somewhere. It's kind of weird. You got to listen to it. But the show is kind of similar. It's a medley. It doesn't stop. So it can really get going in parts, and it does something, So to try to condense that is a struggle. So since there are long-winded like that, and even a slight change is big, I gotta rehearse that shit.
Right.
Yeah, I rehearse that shit. Like
nice.
it interrupts my workout routine. So because of that, and I didn't want to be half-assing on this or that, and I just really wanted to lay into putting just even giving myself the breathing space to figure out what I'm gonna do differently with this shit. Because now that I got a product, I haven't went into something like, I've always been so anxious, because I've been wanting people to hear this shit. And so, like, by the time, I'll be announcing release dates and this shit, I'm on a schedule of my own, as if I'm on somebody's real fucking time besides my own. You know what I mean? In character, but now I'm like, I want to get this product polished and good to go, and then we're gonna figure this thing out before we just start throwing shit around. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna leak some videos and shit like that just to let people know we're working. And I'm so God works in mysterious ways. I needed something, like what I said, just mentioned that mixtape thing. I'm like, I needed to do something, like maybe something just more straight to website. Like, let's record something, get a decent mix on, and throw them like just little singles here or there, or some shit like that in between, just to keep the fans intrigued, give them something. But then like that's usually not how I operate. But I need that, and then lo and behold, like midnight, I get a call like, you want to come up to Omaha for this EP type of shit. You know what I'm saying? So, if I could find out a way to ask or demand everything in my life like that, oh man, you know what I'm saying, we'd be gone. So I just got to find a way, like, for real, this is a me thing, for real. Like, I've been feeling this, I've been trying to stay on earth with this conversation as much as I can.
Yeah.
But, you know me, man. But I've been really getting this tug that says I need to, like, get away, like, for a moment. And, like, just, and I've never felt, and as much as I move around and shit like that, but I'm always working. And these last couple of road trips haven't been as, not that they're all luxurious, but these have been on the lower hanging fruit of that tree. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's been a grind. So these have not had much, like, smell the roses moments out on the road here recently.
Are you trying to do any kind of touring at all? Do you ever think about just trying to put together like a small road tour, like hit up some college campuses and hit some smaller venues up and pack them out?
I got some I would like to do that. But see, this is the thing. A lot of people who run into me now, like even when I first came in here, one first thing he asked me was, what's touring going like? People always assume I'm on tour because for the most time I stay pretty booked consistently enough that it looks like there's something going on, but these are like one and done shows. These is like a real rap for food hustle, and I got a couple of spots that really love me a lot and they bring me out often. So I milk that, thank God, and because of those things, like, it spreads. Like, I've only played, I'm in Washington State all the time,
right?
But I've only played that DMV area like once, and I got one of the bigger features that I've gotten in a while. Like, I'm featured on something that's got a bigger name on it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've done that a couple times. It's always been after a show run of some sort. So, for it to be on that other side of the continental United States is good.
Yeah.
So,
well, I just look at, one of the things they say, the way musicians make money this day and age is by touring. And then I look at some of the local comics and like smaller named comics, how they make their money hustling is just like traveling around, even just like a 4 or 5 state radius, just like smaller cities or whatever, and just performing there.
Yeah,
I would think there'd be like something you could easily do. Like I laid before I worked for a post office, I used to lay carpet and do flooring, and I did some for a couple of Walmarts, and one was in Dallas, and then one was in like Dubuque, Iowa, or some shit like that. It was some college town in Iowa. There's nothing there. But we went out on a Saturday night, and it was packed. The bar was packed full of just corn-fed white people looking to party.
Yeah, man.
And they're starving for that shit.
And that's the beauty of it, though, because since I have been, blessed enough to stay at least consistently booked, now when it is time to like design something more in-house, okay, we want to go on this, what cities we want to hit. We ain't got to hit nowhere blind. We can, if we want to just build something more from roots, go somewhere that we haven't touched ground yet. But I know I'm top bill money in several little places in Washington. I can do the interior Chitlin Circuit of Washington itself, between the our versions of St. Joe that are in Washington.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like all those places, I'm like, I'm just as big as any of your biggest rappers in those places. Like the
Right.
children of those towns know me. You
Right.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like little random places like Amarillo, Texas. Shout out to Amarillo. If I go there, like if there's certain promoters, if they were
Amarillo's got that is the home of that place where you can eat that giant steak and get it for free if you finish it all.
Amarillo is
It's a weird city.
yeah, man. It's
I've driven through there a few times. It'll fucking snow in October in there.
yeah, I can see that happening. It's like it's just you gotta go there. It's hard to explain it.
Yeah.
It's like a swollen independence.
Yeah.
But I fuck with it though, man. You know, a lot of the places that I've been more popular at, you know, have been swollen independence with it to build. A lot of downtrodden, you know, like people who need something.
Well, that's
to
what I'm
root
saying,
for,
yeah.
You know what I mean? And
I think the college towns is the way to go. You get those young kids and they're like, oh, you know what I mean? That's
yeah, but it feels it hits different. Like I love Tacoma. Like I love when I can play in Tacoma, just because it's an interesting storyline there, and they embraced me and helped push me over. But Aberdeen, little old Aberdeen, hasn't had anything mentionable since
Aberdeen, Washington?
Yeah, there hasn't been anything there since Nirvana. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Oh, yeah, I saw those pictures of you with
yeah, so like the level of appreciation for you coming there bleeds so much differently, dog. Like, you know, I'm even a little more.
Charles is kind of doing something like that for a while with that Beat the Competition. They were like this group of rappers and stuff that were going to like these smaller towns around the Midwest and like doing just like little charity events, but then also putting on shows. And it looks like they were getting pretty good traction.
Yeah, man. Like Sedalia shows crack. There's little cubby holes around here too. You know what I'm saying?
Our boy Nick Gibbs in Wichita.
Yeah, Wichita, but Wichita is Wichita's big enough. Like I love Wichita. Wichita usually does me very well too. Like I can release something in Wichita. Like if I was to like travel around with like an album release or some sort, Wichita would definitely be somewhere I'd have to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, they build me pretty decent up there too. You know.
Well, let's set something up in Vegas
Yeah, dude, Vegas would be lit, dog.
and have a good time. I don't like old downtown, but that might be the spot to do something like that.
Yeah, man.
And I would stay there. It's cheap to stay there.
Of course. I brought you guys something.
You did?
Know what I'm saying? I don't know if you've seen when I dripped in, but this is that Beatrice Garment House, man. There's a lot of big things gonna be coming out of there. You can go to Oak Park Mall to Epiphany's on the bottom floor. I think it's on the JCPenney side, and they got track suits and some.
I love a good tracksuit.
Yeah, and these are the real deal, dog. The lining, the pockets are deep, they're heavy. You know what I'm saying?
Hell
They're
yeah.
perfect, dog. They more comfortable.
Dude, I haven't been to Oak Park Mall since who knows how long. I want to go back there just for nostalgic reasons.
Yeah, man. And these are some of the graphic tees that are kind of like a subline of the same brand. But I got a couple for you guys there.
No way, dude. Dude, this shirt is sick.
Yeah, man, I got on one of them.
I noticed that. That is sick.
Yeah, man. Beatrice Garment House, man. Follow me at Alan
Oh
Wayne's
my dude.
World, and I can. Get
That
you directly
is a
linked in.
soft ass shirt.
Yeah, man.
Oh,
They're cut like from Asia or something. So
wow.
you
And
know, you guys are,
Put the camera on this real quick.
yeah, you guys have got the right fit for it. You know what I'm saying?
Wow, that is dope.
Those are some of the earlier prototypes too. So you got some one and dones. Well, those are more official. When they got the bags and the.
I can't
bags.
wait to put this on. That
Yeah.
is a soft ass shirt.
Yeah,
Holy
dude.
shit. I love a good shirt. If you're going to do a shirt, you got to do it right. It
Yeah.
has to be comfortable. Like,
yeah, dog. He's there's
Ooh.
he's really serious about it. Like he just came back from New York with some fashion shit, and he's like got the tracksuits like on like the buyers page for Macy's or some shit like that. He's trying to get in Macy's. That's his goal. So he's aiming high. So he's not just trying to go mom and pop.
What's the name of it?
It's called Beedrick's Garment House.
Beedrick's?
Yeah, it's not too branded heavy yet. Like I said, this is still in the
And it's at
upstart.
Oak Park Mall is the only. Can you get their stuff online?
Yeah, you can shop online as well. I don't want to misquote the link, but just follow me at Alan Wayne's World across all things, and I'll point you in the direction.
Sweet. I was not expecting.
Yeah, man. I usually try to come with something.
Hell
bro.
yeah.
You know, I'll try not to come empty-handed all day. Man.
Love it. Well, is there anything you'd like to say before we bust on out of here?
Man, I'm sure I'll think of it when I leave here, dog.
That's how it happens.
But let me think. Yeah,
Take your time.
Yeah, just to address, like you said, like I've been kind of MIA. That's that's what it may look like on socials, but I just want everybody to know who does support this. That I really haven't let up at all as far as the creative process goes. Just trying to position myself to be able to make whatever my next move be my best move, and I feel like I accomplished that to a degree. And I know that this avalanche of stuff that's about to start coming out at the end of this, quarter this year, going into next year, is, and everybody always says this, and I hope that this is always the case, but it definitely is the case right now. It's the best shit that I've created by far, and I feel like I'm coming off the heels of fuck a critic, fuck accolades, fuck popularity. It's creatively a masterpiece in that 10,000 Hours project. That shit's something else, and to be able to follow that up, I love it. I'm my biggest fan right now, and I can't wait to share this shit with the world. So tentatively, the demonstration 3, start leaking at you like damn near immediately. Shout out to everybody who contributed. Already named up all the producers and shit. I got not rapper feature heavy. I got my guy Keed on there for sure, but I got a lot of vocal. This is some top tier shit. We got violinists and a lot of shit going on. A lot of this shit. So I can't wait for people to hear this, man. Thank y'all for rocking with me. To some of the immediate Alan Wayne's World people who I know are gonna see this as soon as it drops and share it as soon as it drops. I don't want to name any just because I don't want to leave any of you guys out, but those people in the front line for me, I love y'all to death, man. Y'all keep me relevant. And yeah, man, thanks, man. You my first interview, and always my best. And we're gonna take this motherfucker on the road, dog. This is gonna be crazy. You know what I mean? So yeah, man, thanks for having me, dog.
Level up. All right.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you doing this. Can't wait to wear my shirt.
Hell yeah, dude.
All right, everybody. Neandertalk podcast. Like me, follow me, or unfollow me and block me. I don't give a fuck. Bye.
Leave me the fuck alone. Neandertalk, hardest podcast in the world, you stupid ass bitch.